Okay, students, good morning. See you again on ACAS material today. The material is about intensive course listening. On this topic of intensive course listening today, we are going to discuss and also learn about the listening skill and trying to know the audio's listening of descriptive audio. Okay, student, I will greet you first by saying Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we come to our topic, Memeka will deliver about the object of our study today. Okay, the first objective, students are able to comprehend some parts of a descriptive audio, like definition, and then purpose, generic structure, and also language feature. That will be almost the same with the writing and also reading. And then the second objective, students are able to listen to the descriptive audio and recognize some structure and the language feature from the audio story. And then the third, students are able to mention the audio about the generic structure of the audio. And then the fourth, students are able to write proofs for each language feature based on the audio listening. Okay, students, when we talk about descriptive, of course, you are familiar with the descriptive text when you are reading a text. And now the text here will change into the audio, and then you are going to listen about the story for a specific place or a specific object or a specific person and also a specific thing in a kind of audio. Okay, we are going to know first about the descriptive audio here. When we come to descriptive, what is the definition of a descriptive? A descriptive here usually focuses on describing a single location, a single object, single event, a single person, or a place. It endeavors to engage all five of the readers and also listener senses to evoke the sights, the sound, smell, taste, and feel of the text, of the reading text, or also of the audio. Okay, and now we come to the purpose of the descriptive story when we are going to listen. Okay, especially for descriptive here, the purpose of course is to describe and reveal a particular person, place, or a thing. Okay, or sometimes in writing, the purpose of a descriptive text or audio, when we are going to listen, so of course we are listening about the descriptive story. So in writing, the purpose of the text sometimes that is not only for describing or revealing a particular person, but also creating characters and also engaging readers and also setting a mood. In listening, almost the same for writing. When we talk about the purpose, when we listen to the audio of a descriptive, so we can also set our mood after listening. Okay, this is about the purpose. And now we come to a generic structure. I believe that all of you here is familiar about generic structure. When we talk about generic structure on a descriptive, there are two parts of the generic structure. The first part is identification, and then the second is description. Identification contains about the introduction of a person, place, animal, or object will be described. And then on description contains a description of something such as animal, thing, place, or a person by describing its features, forms, parts, qualities, colors, characteristic, and etc. Okay, that is about generic structure. And now we come to the language feature, or sometimes also say the language feature is also called the grammatical feature. Okay, when we talk about the grammatical feature of a language feature of a descriptive, the first is specific participle. Secondly, using adjectives. Thirdly, using simple present tense. The fourth, using action verbs. And then the fifth, using identifying process or attributive. Okay, and then when we talk about specific participant, of course, in a descriptive usually has a certain object. It's not common and unique, only one. For example, like Tanjung Mas Harbor, my flat, Prambanan Temple, and Uncle Jim. Those are the examples. And then on using the adjectives. The adjective here, the function of the adjective is to clarify noun. For example, like a beautiful beach, a good-looking man, the famous place, and a large garden, and etc. And then using simple present tense. The sentence pattern uses simple present tense because it tells the fact of the object described. So you have to use simple present tense because telling the fact. And then using action verbs. The verbs that show an activity. This is an action verb. For example, like run, sleep, work, and etc. And many others. There are so many. And then for the attributive and identifying process here. So you have to compare, for example, the attributive here. My father is handsome. This is the attributive. Handsome here to attribute my father, that my father is handsome. And then for identifying process here, for example, like my father is a leader. So it means here the process of identifying my father, that my father is a leader. Okay, this is about identifying process and attributive. Okay, students, and now will deliver one audio about the descriptive text. Now it's time for you to listen, and then we are going to analyze about 1. The purpose, secondly, the generic structure, the third is about grammatical feature or language feature. Okay, now it's time for you to listen first about the descriptive audio. Listen now.
Singapore is a Southeast Asian country located between Malaysia and Indonesia. Despite its small size, Singapore is known for its transition as a third world country to the first world country. Singapore also was known as the Asian tiger economy, based on external trade and its workforce. Singapore's size is not as big as Indonesia, but the city ranks highly in numerous international ranks for its education, entertainment, finance, healthcare, human capital, innovation, logistics, manufacturing, technology, tourism, trade, and transport. Singapore is home to 5.6 million people with a diverse culture. Majority ethnic groups in Singapore are Chinese, Malay, and Indian. Singapore Independence Day was on the 9th of August 1965. Merlion statue is the official mascot of Singapore. Singapore is famous for its garden by the bay, Marina Bay Sands, and Orchard Road.
Okay students, after you listen about the audio, now we are going to analyze one by one about the audio's purpose, the audio's generic structure, and then the audio's language feature. Okay, talking about the purpose now. So, the purpose of the audio that you listen is to describe about the specific place, that is Singapore. And then for the generic structure, there are two parts of generic structure. The first is identification. So the identification for the audio here, you have to answer the question WH question: what, where, when. Okay, if you find the answer about this WH question, so the first sentence here, Singapore is a Southeast Asian country located between Malaysia and Indonesia. This is about the identification of the audio. And then for the description here, those are sentences after Indonesia up to the last sentence that you listen on the audio. Okay, and now we come to the third step. For example, like on sentence, Singapore is known for its transition as a third world country to the first world country. This is example of a point. And then the example of qualities. Singapore also was known as the Asian tiger economy. And then for the characteristics, Singapore's size is not as big as Indonesia. Singapore is a home to 5.6 million people with a diverse culture. And then Singapore is famous for its garden by the bay. Okay, this is about the generic, the description, based on the generic structure. And now we come to the grammatical feature or the language feature of the audio. When we talk about the specific participant of the audio, the specific participant is, of course, Singapore. And then, identifying presence of the audio is Merlion stated is the official mascot of Singapore. This is just an example. And then attributive. For example, like in a sentence, Singapore is famous for its garden. Okay, and then adjectives. You are going to know about some more adjectives here. There are so many adjectives on the audio that you can find. For example, like small, and then size small will be external, and then big, and then what else? And now, answering about the use of simple present tense. There are so many sentences uses simple present tense on the audio. I just give you an example of the sentence in simple present tense. For example, like Singapore is known for its transition. And then the second, for the present tense here, Singapore is home to 5.6 million people. And then another, Marian Stadium is the official mascot of Singapore. Okay, this is a simple present tense by using linking verbs. Is, am, or as a linking verbs. Especially for the Singapore here, for the Singapore audio, we don't see any action verbs because most of them are in linking verbs. Okay, this one, this is about the example of how to analyze the text after listening. And now you are going to practice by listening for the second audio I deliver here. Okay, student, now it's time for you to listen to the audio. I will repeat the audio for twice. Listen now.
Semarang is one of a metropolitan city in Indonesia. It is the capital city of Central Java. Semarang has a big population, around 2 million people. It is very beautiful city and I loved to live and grow up in this city. I believe that people around Indonesia will know where Semarang is. Semarang is well known as Lumpia City. The reason for that name is because people, especially tourists, always buy lumpia as a present. Besides lumpia, Semarang also has a various kind of traditional food like wingko babat, ganjal, wedang tu, etc. Semarang is one of the most interesting cities in Indonesia. There are some places that very recommended visiting, like Marina Beach, Lawang Suyu, Tugu Muda, Old City, Masjid Agung Semarang, etc. If you want to enjoy beautiful sunset in Semarang, you should visit Marina Beach. And if you want to enjoy historical place, you can visit Old City, Lawang Suyu, and many more. Semarang also has a lot of celebration. One of them is called Dugderan. Dugderan is held before Ramadan. And every May, Semarang held a street carnival to show many cultural in Semarang. Semarang is the best city to live.
Okay, after you listen, now it's time for you to analyze one by one, the same as I did before. So, you are going to analyze one by one, especially about the purpose and also about the generic structure and the language features of the second audio. Okay, students, this is our learning. I hope that you can learn well today, and thanks for your attention. See you again on a different material next week, and see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.